Andrew and I grew up together, and we had a good time playing almost every day since I can remember. I remember our mothers talking for long hours, time that we took advantage of to play at Andrew's house or on the street. My earliest memory goes back to a fight between his parents. They argued heatedly over money, something that my house was no stranger to. I remember his mother sending Andrew to my house as she didn't want me to watch them fight. Unaware of what was going on at home, he would forget his sadness by playing with me, and that's how our friendship began. I had a builder's spirit. I liked to take toys apart with the idea of making my own. I myself must admit that it almost never worked. But with Andrew, we were keen on putting toys together and taking them apart. We would use anything to make new toys, from a cork, bowling pin for fishing, to tuna cans to make cars and trucks. We would let our imaginations run wild. We were both excited to finish eating and get back to the game. We had a good time. We went to the same school, and although we were not in the same classrooms, we managed to find each other at recess. It was rare if any of us had an allowance, so we hardly ever shopped at the school kiosk. Instead, we combined our lunchboxes for a grand feast between boiled eggs, strawberry jam, and fruit juice. We tasted the best flavors, the flavors of home. One day at school, I was waiting for Andrew as usual, but I didn't see him. I thought something had happened, and I went into his classroom. His folder was empty. What could have happened? Maybe he fell asleep. I didn't know, but I waited for dismissal time to go see him at home. When I arrived, I knocked on the door and no one opened it. I went home thoughtfully, sat down at the table, and quickly finished my food so Mom would let me go out. She asked me where I was going. Andrew's house, I replied. I'm going to go play with him. He looked at me, grabbed my face, and said, "Love, Andrew is a little under the weather. He's not at home, son." "Mom, what's wrong with him? He was fine yesterday. Tell me where he is." "Yes, my love," she told me, "but you have to be patient because visiting hours start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 1:30. Go take a bath," he told me. "You change and we'll go see him." While I was waiting for visiting time, I was thinking about Andrew. What could have happened to him? "Maybe a flu. He'll get over it," I said in my little mind. "I don't think he'll leave me. The race car is almost ready and we need to test it," I thought. Mom got ready and said, "Come on, Carlitos, it's time to go see him." I took one of the cork wheels we had made and took it with me so Andrew could see that I was still focused on our project. We arrived at the hospital. I saw many children who were connected to transparent hoses. They were being given some liquid with vitamins, or at least that's what it seemed to me. Mom had once warned me that if I didn't eat the vegetables, I would end up like this. "What suffering," she would say. I took a deep breath, and inside me I said, "Next time I will eat more vegetables." I got to the room. There was Andrew. He was wired in the feet and arms. "Wow," I said. "Andrew, listen, you don't know what I brought. Look, it's the wheel for the car. We finished it today, but don't worry. I see you're indisposed, so I'll give you the day, but tomorrow you'll be here, okay?" "Yes, Carlitos, I'll be there tomorrow." "Okay," I said and handed him the wheel, but he could barely pick it up and dropped it. "What's wrong with you?" I asked him. "I don't know," he answered me. "But did you eat the vegetables and drink all the soup?" "Yes," he replied. "Then I think you must be tired," I replied. I went to where Mom was, and when I got there, I found Andrew's mom crying. Mom was comforting her. His dad was also there. They were both crying. "Mom, what's wrong?" Tugging at her blouse to get her attention. "Nothing, son. Go with Andrew. He needs you." I went back to where Andrew was. A nurse arrived, and I watched as she changed a red-colored bag. It looked like some kind of deep red jelly, almost like the color of the liquid that came out of my wounds every time I fell. Nothing made sense to me, but I was with Andrew, and that was the most important thing. I sat on a chair that was near his bed. I told him, "Look, when we finish the race car, you'll be the pilot, but we'll test it on that long street that goes down by Fat Percy's house." We started to laugh. "Let's see if he comes across, and we'll sweep him off his feet." I turned to look at Andrew, and he had fallen asleep. I gave him a push and told him, "Don't fall asleep. If a shrimp falls asleep, the current will take it away." Suddenly, I felt someone grab my arm and kindly said, "Kid, your friend needs to rest." "Okay." And pulling away, I said, "Bye, Andrew. I'll continue with the project. You just rest." The next day, I was alone with my lunchbox. I was thinking about Andrew. When will he recover? So it was time to leave. I quickly finished my lunch and went back to the garage. In my mind, I kept repeating, I'm going to finish it. Andrew will be surprised when he sees our car. Just that day, Dad came back from work. He was always gone 3 or 4 months and came back with money. That made me happy. He hugged me and said, "You're all grown up now. What are you doing?" "Look, Dad, it's a race car." "Wow," he said to me. "That's good. We'll make some adjustments to it and it'll be ready." "Yes, Dad, help me. Andrew and I were building it, but he is under the weather now. I guess when the car's ready, Andrew will be ready too." Dad made some adjustments and changed the wheels to metal ones. It was coming along great. "Dad," I said, "I'll go see Andrew. Finish it for me, please. I want to see Andrew's face when he sees our car." "Okay, son," he replied. I went back to the hospital. Andrew was asleep. "Hello," I said. "How are you?" He didn't answer me. I waited a bit, and while I waited, I watched everything he had connected to his body. I kept thinking about why he needed all that. "Andrew!" I shouted and hugged him. "How are you?" "Well, fine," he said to me. "I'm very sleepy." "Look, my dad's here and he's helping me. The car is really coming along. When are you going home?" I asked him. "I don't know, Carlitos. Mom says I need more vitamins and stuff like that." "Wow," I said. "What will we do now? Tomorrow's the car race." "I'm sorry, Carlitos. I think you'll need someone else. I can't get up." "But what's wrong with you?" I asked him. He gave me no answer. His mother arrived and said, "Carlitos, thanks for coming to see him. Now he needs to rest." "But it hasn't even been that long. Why does he need to sleep so much?" I couldn't stand it anymore and went to ask Mom. "Mom, can you tell me what's wrong with Andrew? I don't understand. Tomorrow is the race. It's been 3 weeks already and he won't get up." Mom took a deep breath and said, "Carlitos, Andrew won't be able to go with you to the race. He is very sick." "But what's wrong with him, Mom? No one will tell me anything. I don't understand. It doesn't seem fair." Then she grabbed my face, just like she had done the first time I asked her about Andrew. "Son, Andrew is very sick. He has a disease that prevents him from having strength, and the doctors have told his mother that it is a matter of time before Andrew goes to heaven." "Mom, Andrew is going to go to Grandma and Grandpa's?" "Mom, but he will go to heaven without me and our car. Mom, please no. Why?" She hugged me, and I started to cry. "Mom, no, please. What can I do?" I said. "Well, Andrew needs to be a part of someone to continue living, and he's waiting for that someone to donate the part he needs." "Mom, but why haven't they found someone to donate that part to him so that he can live?" "Well, I don't know, Carlitos, and time is running out. The doctors are looking too." "Mom, do I have what he needs?" "Well, yes, son, but it's not just that. The part they take out of a person to give to Andrew must be a perfect match inside his body." Mom looked at me for a long time and said, "Carlitos, with all this, we didn't realize that you could be a donor. We went to what appeared to be a lab of some sort. Andrew's mom was there too with her parents. 2 hours went by, and inside they shouted, 'He's a match!' We all hugged. 'What's the matter, Mom?' I said. 'What is it?' 'You can be a donor. You can donate a part of you.' My tears started to come. I remembered all the time I had shared with him, playing spinning tops, marbles, and our car project. I was thrilled that day. The next day, I was standing next to Andrew. He could hardly speak anymore, but I looked at him and said, 'I'll give you something of mine, buddy. You'll recover, you know?' And as I said this, I fell asleep. When I woke up, Mom was near me. I didn't listen to her. I turned to look at Andrew. 'Son, everything went well,' he told me. I still wasn't fully recovered. I was sleepy, but I was thinking about Andrew. A transparent curtain divided our beds. We missed the race that year, but today was another year. Andrew had recovered, and we hugged. I was glad to know that part of me was inside him, and he had come back to life, and we drove down that street like we had planned. It was the day of the competition. Andrew was at the wheel, and I was the driving force. Without a doubt, a very touching and beautiful story. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Leave a comment about what you thought of this story and share it with your friends and loved ones so they also know the story of this beautiful friendship. And I'll see you in the next stories.